Hey guys, welcome back. It's Shelby and today we are doing a mirror makeover. So I did one of these back when I first started my channel, was basically making like a big glam mirror, and I will link that video above if you haven't seen it. It's I don't know, a little bit lengthy because I was still trying to figure out like just how to edit everything, and yeah, it was probably not my best like video as far as cinematography goes, but it was definitely one of my best projects and remains to this day one of my best projects. I love that mirror. It was like a gold gilt mirror. So I will post that and you should definitely check it out because it was amazing. But today we're doing something a little bit differently. So this is a mirror that my friend gave me. She got it from like a thrift store and it is heavy. She got it from a thrift store for like $5 and it's like this grouted mosaic thing. So super, super heavy, but it's got this wire thing on the back to help hold it up. So it's very, very sturdy. Not quite my style, but she was like, you should craft with it. And I'm like, you know what? It's a good size mirror. It's a square. It's a good shape. Like it's a normal shape. So why not see if we can do something with it? So nothing wrong with it, but it's not really my style. I want to change it up a little bit, and just because it's grouted and tiled and everything, I don't think gold spray paint is totally going to cut it. So what I have is this fabric that I got, and it's kind of like a quilted fabric. It's got, well, 2 layers and this kind of like felt stuff in between, so it's a little bit poofy and puffy, and it's got this diamond pattern on it, which I like. So I was thinking I could do the outside in this and would give it kind of like a fake tufted look, which I like, and then some adhesive gemstones just to zhuzh it up. I don't actually know if I'm going to use it. I might love it with just the fabric on the mirror. It might just be like a super nice clean look, or I might want to add some glitz and glam. We'll see how it goes. I have some scissors and some E6000, but I will link everything down below that I used if you have like a similar mirror at home or you want to do something similar yourself. But yeah, that's everything I'm going to need, and we will get right into the craft, and here we go, mirror makeover. So first things first, what I'm going to do is basically just measure out the fabric I need. I got, I think, 3/4 of a yard. It's not a particularly wide thing of fabric. Actually, this is the side and this is the side. It is a wide piece of fabric. I didn't get very much, so I got a little bit less than a yard just because measuring it, I didn't think I needed that much. So what I'm going to do is just cut strips. Let's see if I can do this. This is a heavy mirror, like I said, so I don't want to be lifting it up all the time, but cutting strips that will cover from here to here and then back a little bit, so it's got about an inch thickness, and then I want it on the back a little bit just so it's not always popping up. So 2 inches on front, 1 inch over and 1 inch over, and then fold it. So probably about 4.5 inches, 4 to 4.5 inch thick strips for my fabric. So probably about there. And I'm just going to cut 4 strips, and yeah, we're gonna line them up, glue them on, and see how it turns out. So because my fabric is going to be much wider than my mirror, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, honestly. Like it doesn't really need to be perfect. I just need to make sure that it's big enough to cover what I want it to cover. So thinking probably about that. I'm just gonna do a rough measure of folding it over, and we'll do a little bit more. Fold, 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 perfect. So I want it about, my strip to be about this big. The top inch right here is coming off, so it's not super wide. Ended up being about 5 inches, so I'm gonna kind of fold that down, fold it in half, make sure it's roughly the same size. It is, look at that. And just kind of mark that. The good thing about having a diamond pattern is you can kind of hit the same markers all the way down it. I should probably have like a professional cutting table or something, but I don't, so I'm just gonna pinch the fabric till it creates this like little bead in there, and then just follow my scissors up. These also aren't official fabric scissors. I know, scandal, but I'm not like a huge sewer. I do like to sew, but I'm not real great at it, and I don't have like dedicated sewing scissors or sewing kit or anything. One day maybe, but not today. So that is my strip of fabric. It's relatively straight. I'm gonna be hiding the ends anyway, so it doesn't matter. I can cut this off right here, just this little flappy part. I don't think it really matters, but it's gonna be kind of like bulky in there if I don't, so I'm just gonna cut that off real quick. It's also gonna help create an easier template because I want all of my strips to be relatively the same width. So if I have one cut, I can lay it against the others and just cut out the additional 3 strips that I need for this, and it'll make it a lot easier than you know, trying to just eyeball them and make sure they're all the same and make sure they're the same width all the way through, and it's just more to worry about. So this is my strip of fabric, and you can see, get the mirror, lining up on the mirror. It is plenty. It goes down into the mirror itself and then like folds over as well. So this is perfect. I need to cut 3 more of these. Here we go. So I have all 4 strips that I need here. Here we go. That's 4 of them. And then it fell to the ground. My extra fabric, and this is kind of cool fabric, so I'm going to keep this for a future project. I don't know what that project will be yet, but something in the future. And next I'm going to switch the camera angle just so you can kind of see it, and we are going to start gluing our fabric pieces down to the mirror. We've got our layers of fabric, and basically what I'm doing is just creating that. Like, that is the idea of it. So we're going to start by taking the E6000, and all I'm going to do is just run a bead right here across the top. I'm not going to go past this corner here, like this little white tile in each corner. That's no man's land. We're not doing that. So just gonna take some E6000, put a nice big dollop. Oop, got the mirror there, didn't want that. Just like that. And I'm going to put the fabric, kind of roll it over on itself, so like this, if that makes sense. Just like put enough in that it covers it. Press down. Because what I'm going to do is roll it over on itself so I don't get any of the frayed edges or anything. And just leave that to dry. Honestly, that's all we're doing. So now I'm going to do the next side, which is going to be the top here. So we're going to get a lovely thick bead of E6000 right on the edge here. Edges a bit. Oops. And theoretically, because I didn't go past these bars, I should be able to do this. That's gonna work. This is gonna make a lot more sense as we go and I flip it backwards on itself, but right now it kind of looks like a hot mess. Sorry about that. And that's it. We're gonna leave that to dry, maybe overnight, at least for a few hours, until the glue really gets the fabric kind of firmly on there. The mirror's been drying overnight, so all of the fabric is pretty firmly adhered. This is kind of what it looks like when you pull it out. So you can see it's totally gonna cover up all of the mosaic stuff, which is what I'm going for. And I could just like do it like this where it's flat, but I kind of want like more of an angle here. So what I'm gonna do is just pull up the side corners of each. Actually, yeah, so we will do it this way. So I'm gonna pull up these sides. Just like that, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is just glue this side down completely. A little bit more glue. You don't need as much here because it's just holding the fabric in place, and it's not the only place we're gonna glue it to hold it there, but it's just to kind of get it flat like that. Same side here. This hot glue would probably work too, but I have the E6000 out, so I'm going to do that. And then for this, I want it at an angle, so I'm going to kind of glue it like that. So I'm just folding the corner down. It's going to be like that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the fabric and then across the ceramic part, or the grouted mosaic part, I guess. Generous amount. I'm just folding the corner down as it goes, and then it's gonna adhere just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. And we don't really need to wait for that to dry, because if we flip it over, it'll put pressure on here, and then we can start working on fastening the back. So I'm gonna put a trash bag just over the top of the mirror, just in case any of the glue does leak out. I wanna protect my table. And then I'm just gonna use a board to help me flip it. Just so that the fabric doesn't get messed up and then glued in the wrong position. Now I'm just going to glue my fabric down. So you could put a bead of glue here and then bring it up and then glue here, but there's no like real tension on the fabric, so I'm just gonna glue it to the back. The grout work takes up a lot of the glue because it's not flat, and it just kind of like, you have to put a lot on there to make it work. So the back of the mirror is just gonna be a lot better for gluing it, a lot more economical that way. So since I'm almost out of glue, I'm gonna do that. Just kind of pull it over tightly. You can even like fold it over so it's nice if you want. It's like get a nice edge. Here we go. And while I'm working, I need this to hold down, so I just got some masking tape to help me out. And I'm hoping that's enough to work. If it doesn't, I'll grab duct tape. No pretty edges for this side. In doubt, just pop a lot of glue in there. It'll hold it. So the back's fairly well fastened down, but I want some pressure on this glue because it really needs to hold the fabric down. So what I'm gonna do is flip the mirror over again and have the front side up. Even though it's still drying, it's probably pretty well secured at this point. And just have the weight of the mirror, which if you remember was pretty hefty, pushing in on those corners. But so far you can see like it's covered really well. I mean, I need to clear up the glass a little bit because I have a little bit of the glue flux on them, but as far as the fabric goes, this is super cute. I'm really liking this. So I'm just gonna let that dry, and I don't know, definitely at least for a few hours, maybe overnight. Okay guys, so it's the next day slash the final day of the mirror project. Here is how it is turned out. Ooh, trash bag stuck a little bit, there we go. So this is the back. Obviously I need to take all of the tape off, so I'm just gonna do that right now. And the front is not bedazzled yet. I know that I had the gems to bedazzle it, and I'll show you what I mean in a second, but I was looking at it and I really don't think they're going to add to it. Like, they're not going to make it better. And it's rare that I say that because like anything sparkly or gold or anything like that, you guys know I'm kind of obsessed. But I don't know, there's just, on here, maybe it's because they're like the more clear crystals and it's white fabric, like it's just not doing it. But I will show you what I mean by that, and I'll show you kind of what my idea was in case you guys want to try that yourself. Like, say you like it or you want to use different color gems or something. I actually have different color gems, but I don't know, I'm just not feeling it, so I'm gonna leave them off. But I did want to kind of let you know why I'm leaving them off, because I know in the beginning I was like, I'm using these, and I didn't want you guys to be like, but you didn't, like what happened? So that's what happened. I just decided I didn't like them on there. So all of the tape is coming off pretty easily. Perks of using masking tape. I'm glad I did not have to use duct tape because that could leave some residue. Back is nice and clean. We're gonna flip it over. Here is the top. So this is the mirror and how it turned out. It's super, super pretty. Actually, I like it a lot. I'm gonna put this up probably on my desk in my room. It's really hard to like do mirrors on camera because they're gonna reflect everything back to the camera. So you're gonna see the camera, the reflection of me, the room behind it, so it's got to be up at an angle, sorry. But that is kind of what it looks like. And here is what I mean about the adhesive gems. So if you put them on there and you just kind of imagine, I mean, they weren't going to be in strips, but just kind of imagine what that is. Like, I don't know. I don't think it adds to it. I'm gonna leave it off personally, but if you want to put it on, you can definitely just put a little dollop of glue wherever you want them, stick them on, and that would be great. I will do a close-up of this once I get it hung up on the wall. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you here again soon. Have a great day. Bye for now. Okay, so this is the mirror all hanging up. I kind of found a way to get a neutral background in the reflection other than me, but you can see just kind of like the fabric and how it turned out, and the corners. Like that's it's kind of hard to tell without a shadow, but I think it's a nice kind of diagonal corner. But yeah, overall I think it turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. It's still heavy, but it hangs up on a tiny little nail on the wall super easily. So yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it turned out well.